The Lake Catholic girls get a first-half strike from Kennedy Riepel and the eventual match winner in the 52nd minute from Keika Babbage to record a 2-1 win over Revere on Saturday. I guess we can call it Saturday night since the sun sets so early this time of year. Saturday night in a Division II regional final down at Twinsburg. Just a great job seeing out a result here by Lake. Obviously, we've talked about it often this year, and I think it really needs to be emphasized once again. That state final experience going on that run a year ago, I think sets the Cougars up well for moments like this. When you're locked in a tight match, you're not going to get overly rattled because you've been in those moments before. You understand what it takes to go on to that next step. And Lake really had to work for it in the defensive third in those last 10 to 15 minutes, no doubt about it, but they did it, and that was to their credit because the Minutemen are a very good attacking side, a tricky side, and they made them work hard for it, but Lake was able to do what it needed to do. It might not have been the most pretty looking thing in the world from an attacking standpoint or in the back, but it was effective enough. And now Lake Catholic is on its way to the state final four for the second year in a row and the second time in girls soccer in school history. As far as the way the match played out, full disclosure, I only saw this match from about the 20th minute on because of the Kirtland boys regional final at 3 o'clock at Streetsboro. So obviously I'll only talk about what I actually saw once I got there, but it was just a gritty effort in the back there in the second half, and locked in a 1-1 match there in the second half. You got the feeling, especially with how tough it was in midfield, that it was really going to be a slog trying to find that second goal. It was going to take something really special to get that go-ahead goal, and Babbage was able to find it there to give her side a 2-1 lead. Deep throw-in into the corner, and what I really love about that sequence is amid tight marking, on a throw-in, you got to want it. On a deep throw-in, into space instead of playing to feet, you have to want it. And Keika worked her butt off for that touch. And in those moments, I think it's fair to say that attackers really have to almost, like a chess match, think one or two moves ahead in order to create the best opportunity for themselves. And in that moment, she's able to play that nice little parallel touch, get it to her left foot, play it to the end line, then play another touch to create a little bit more space. And instead of going for a hard strike, Chris was talking to me about it after the match. He wants to see her go for toe pokes a little more often. She went for a toe poke there, and obviously it went brilliantly as she's able to put one in the back of the net. Revere defender got a little bit of it with her ankle, but I wouldn't necessarily classify it as an own goal just simply because I think it was destined to go side net anyway. But nonetheless, a nice goal, a big goal before the hour mark there, and Lake is able to go from there and just put in a gritty effort in the back to see out the result. But it's kind of a weird thing to mention, but I will anyway. I think the last couple of years under Chris, Lake does a really nice job of maximizing touchline play and end line play. Keika was telling me after the match that she really felt like that goal that she had tonight was similar to a goal that she had in the regional final a year ago. And let's not forget that state semifinal a year ago when they got that match winner late from Ella Hadley. Kati Drzina, the reason she was able to get that cross off was she played to the touch line and then another touch to the end line. And I think Lake maximizes touch line and end line play well. When some sides would get a little shy with that, may not venture out that far with wide play or to the end line, maximizing the entirety of the field, I think the Cougars do that very well. And once again, like I said, and I've probably said it like 4 times now, but I'll say it again, that defensive third play was great to see out the result. That group can shift personnel in and out. Allie Morgan, once again, did a nice job at sweeper. Gianna Salentino played a little bit at stopper. Chris moved her to right back to close out the match. Grace Moore, Julia Marusik, that whole group back there, Ava Peterlin in goal, that whole back line did very well. And when you got gritty ball winners in midfield like Juliana Gergic and Andrea Babbage, that's the kind of elements and ingredients you need this time of year in order to win big matches. And once again, with that poise that Lake has shown on big stages the last couple of years, they're able to get away from that heartbreak that they've had for so many years in regional finals. 0-5 since 2004 in regional finals prior to last year. In the last 2 years, they're finally able to break through to state. So big result for Lake. Again, it wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but they were able to see it out, and that's a credit to a side that has transitioned well, has a young side, and is performing very well when it needs to, and this was no exception to that rule. A 2-1 win over Revere on Saturday night.